This deck has definitely benefited a lot from the ban list. Usually before, quite a lot of these cards were restricted.
So yeah, so I believe Gazelle and Circle have both been at one on the free limited list, alongside Stalio being forbidden. All of these off the list now, and now here we are going into the game one. Let's see who is going first even. By the looks of it, it looks like Ural in red. Starting off with Circle.
Did he activate? Did he activate in the draw phase?
I'm not sure. I hope so. But we'll see. You can see Stephen chuckling a little bit there, realizing it looks like he has got 2 hand traps and Salamangreat Sanctuary in his hand.
I guess Euro didn't catch Stephen chuckling. He still doesn't know.
He doesn't know. So yeah, we're going to see this resolve and see what it gets.
I think this should be a really interesting matchup because I think both players are able to break each other's fields.
I agree with that. Unfortunately for Stephen currently, it looks a little bit off with his hand because he doesn't seem to have many engine cards going for him. He has got the copy of Possible Desires in his hands to help get him there. But yeah, we see Ural adding Spinny.
Ooh, so
as a Salamangreat player, when you add Spinny off Circle, that's a good sign for your hand and your overall quality.
Most of the time, the Circle is used to add Salamangreat Gazelle, but I believe he might have it in hand. Gazelle is one of the stronger cards in this deck. We might see it get revealed here just now. Yeah. So he's gone for Baylink, Chainlink 1, Salamangreat, a Gazelle, Chainlink 2, and it has the ability to send one Salamangreat card from his deck, and it has been effect failored. Stephen knows exactly where to use his interrupters.
Do you think he should have gone? I think I would have gone with the Impermanence there. Just to play around cards like Talents and Thrust. However, these two are playing the exact same deck, so we'll see how they navigate the rest of it.
So he's gone for Spinny effect, which says you special summon it from the graveyard if you control a Salamangreat monster. And he's going to summon the formerly banned Stapelio. Stalio.
Mirage Stalio. So do you think you should Impermanence here? Knowing that Salamangreat Raging Phoenix is such an important card for the strategy.
I think Stephen's gameplay is to try and stop Euro extended with more monsters, and he's hoping Euro doesn't have any more ways to link climb.
We're going to see how he continues to navigate the rest of his turn. I kind of hope there we might see like a Will of the Salamangreat or something along those lines. But we'll see. We'll see what's next.
I know you mentioned Stephen doesn't have a way to see his Salamangreat cards, but he also plays triple tactics talents, which gives him the opportunity to be able to steal one of the monsters that Ural has. And if it's something like Stalio, he can use this effect to start off his engine.
Perfectly true. Which I think that'd be crazy to see that. So we're going to see how they decide to continue navigating this turn. Obviously, being hit with 2 hand traps is quite impactful. So we're going to see, what do they decide next? I think they're just discussing something with a judge currently.
From what we know, he can decide to link both of these off into Sunlight Wolf.
Yes.
And then add back the Circle. But he does have more plays. He decided to go Signet Mining, being able to add any Cyber monster between level 4 lower.
Yeah, I think I would aim for maybe like a Jaguar here, because with this, he can definitely try and reach towards making a Raging Phoenix and then relinking it using the Salamangreat Sanctuary to try and get himself to one of those impactful trap cards.
Definitely. Salamangreat Foxy also has a graveyard effect. Yeah. It says if there is a face-up spell and trap card on the field, you can discard one Salamangreat monster from your hand and special summon it from the graveyard. And if he adds something like Jaguar, Jaguar can also special summon from the graveyard.
So yeah, we're going to see how he goes. Don't count Stephen out just yet.
And exactly, he did add the Jaguar, like you predicted, Alex.
We do love a little bit of Salamangreat gameplay here. Even more so when there's 2 of them. So we're just going to see how they continue going.
Activating the field spell, so now you can activate the Foxy effect. So because he has a face-up spell and trap card.
So I would imagine we see
a Sunlight Wolf.
Sunlight Wolf here. Surprised he did not link off with the Mirage Sidao just yet. Maybe wanting to keep that round for next turn, but we never know. That might turn around to bite him.
I guess he's using Jack Jaguar's effect to put back a Salamangreat monster in his graveyard, special summon the Jack Jaguar, and using Sunlight Wolf's effect to add a monster from his graveyard to hand. Yugioh has done quite a lot through 2 hand traps.
Through 2 hand traps. I would still assume he's going to end up getting towards that Raging Phoenix play. However, we don't know what other cards are in his hand as well.
Exactly.
He might still have further interrupts with other hand traps, or maybe he's already drawn one of his Salamangreat trap cards.
Traditionally, the Salamangreat Sanctuary was used to link off the Sunlight Wolf, to link summon Sunlight Wolf again, to be able to use this effect to add a Salamangreat spell and trap from graveyard to hand. But now, with the addition of the new rank 4, link 4
Raging Phoenix, you just don't need to do that. You can circumvent that entirely. So we're going to see how this goes. 3 more cards, or 3 cards left in Steven's hand, sorry.
Yeah.
Going to link off for the Raging Phoenix here. I think he's just double checking his options before he makes that second copy.
This card fits the deck strategy really well. Being able to search for any Salamangreat card in your deck is really amazing. Before, they had to use a Salamangreat Gazelle to send a spell and trap card, then use Sunlight Wolf's second effect to add it back to hand. But this way, they can add it straight from deck to hand. And I think most likely you'll go for Salamangreat Roar, which negates a monster. I guess
he's going for Rage here. If I was Steven at that point, I think in my head, he's got Roar already.
Potentially.
However, when you think about it, that Rage is destroying up to 4 cards on the field as well. It's just so hard to play through.
Very true. I'm so used to playing against this deck when they were ending on Sunlight Wolf and only destroying 2. And they both have a cheeky giggle, noticing.
So he's going to resolve that to add the Gazelle.
Steven playing with 4 cards.
I think he has got the opportunity to play here with I think the possible desires to come down next, especially if, or maybe not. We're going to see this Gazelle activate.
The Balinx does protect himself against the Salamangreat Rage. Balinx has a graveyard effect that you can banish it from the graveyard to protect your Salamangreat monsters from destruction.
So I think here, if you're Steven, how do you really navigate this? Because you need to get that Balinx in the graveyard as soon as possible.
Yeah.
But you don't want to hinder yourself from making the plays you want to as well.
This Gazelle does look like one of his only forms of playing, as you saw from his. We were trying to look at his hand. We didn't really notice many other Salamangreat cards. Usually, we special summon the Salamangreat Gazelle from hand if a Salamangreat monster is sent to the graveyard. But in this scenario, he had to normal summon it, which isn't ideal.
Yeah. So with this, I'm a bit. I would like to see just how this continues to play out. I'm sure Steven has a game plan. He has somewhere he's trying to aim for, especially knowing that that's a Rage set.
Yeah. Pots of Desires.
So I think here, just trying to draw any card, really.
I think he has quite a lot of good draws.
I agree with that, in all honesty. I don't think he cares too much what gets removed from play. He just wants to draw 2 cards and hit any Salamangreat card, really. I wonder if not adding the Sanctuary first may come back to bite him or not.
True.
But we'll see.
Decided to send a Foxy himself to the graveyard.
Yeah.
Which.
So the Balinx will summon.
Oh, he has got the Sanctuary already in hand, which isn't.
Oh yeah, that is true.
Great.
I had completely forgotten that. So he's going to activate that. I would assume that this is met with the Rage.
Could he have maybe discarded the Salamangreat Sanctuary, or does Foxy only allow you to discard?
It does discard a card.
A Salamangreat monster. So if he could have discarded the Sanctuary, maybe he could have done a bit more.
I think Urol maybe needed to use the Rage there just to ensure that there was no follow-up. Especially with Gazelle already in the graveyard. However, I'm sure he's got a mind. I'm sure he's trying to figure out what he wants to do.
But I really do like this play from Steven, because if he has anything more, all of his Salamangreat monsters are protected now.
Yes, exactly. Back in the day, this is exactly how you'd want to play this matchup, just to ensure that you can keep going.
Yeah, Yugioh did look very stressed there, knowing he couldn't use his interrupt, but
Yeah.
Stephen didn't have much. He couldn't use his triple tactics because Yugioh activate no monster effects.
Yeah.
Is he just going to decide to use it in the end phase? Pop both and yeah.
It's really just...
Stephen just using the Balink's protection effect.
Oh, he decides to pass there. Okay. I think it's... I guess a little bit rough. I think Ural is now able to just take full advantage of this. He's already got the spinny.
He had his back Gazelle from Sunlight Wolf.
Yeah, he's
The
got so many
amazing thing
cards.
about Salamangreat, which made it such a dominant force in the game around 2019, is that it had so many resources in the graveyard. That means you can continue playing on your next turn and recursively keep on playing.
Yeah, so you tried to set up this somewhat minimalistic board, I would say, during your first turn.
Yeah.
You have maybe a trap, maybe a Sunlight Wolf, maybe, if your hand was very good, a Dweller. You try to like do this nice little play, but next turn you just have so many good cards for follow up, like from their graveyard onto the field. You just have so many cards that can do things, and I think it's very hard for many decks to compete with that. Even now, what, 4 years later?
Yes.
Yeah.
Very true. And the deck can do quite a lot through hand traps, as we've seen just now.
Yeah. So we're gonna see the Jaguar come back out.
Put back the Raging Phoenix. He might decide to link summon the Raging Phoenix again.
Yeah, I could see that entirely. Just gives you another resource, right? You just want to keep garnering more and more interrupts.
I wonder if Yugioh will decide to play around in the Buried Primary Being, trying to put 8,000 damage on board with trying to summon 4 less monsters.
Yeah, so I do want to see what he does next. Does seem to be making another Balinks potentially. I would assume to trigger that Gazelle. So this is he's just gathering more and more resources, right?
Even if he does get Nibiru, he has so much in the graveyard. He has the Spinny, he can decide to special summon again. I believe he also has the Foxy too. Now he's sending the Falco.
Just to get the Rage back maybe.
So Falco's effect is when it's sent to the graveyard, you can set a Salamangreat spell or trap card from your graveyard to your field.
Yeah, so here we're gonna see the Raging Phoenix come down once more.
Using Sanctuary's effect just to link into it again.
Yep. So he's going to see it one more time, add another card. I believe Stephen had a Veiler in hand, an effect Veiler. I think I might have, maybe I missed it. So he's got Talent Rage, one unknown.
Has he decided to add Circle to his hand?
I'm not sure, I couldn't quite see it there, unfortunately. But we're gonna keep going. I'm assuming maybe the Spinny is to come soon.
The most common way for Yugioh to deal damage is through Axis Code Talker.
Yes.
The original Cybus boss
I would
monster.
say that this is my favourite part of Cybus deck. And we're gonna see Earl climb up.
With Link Decoder, okay.
Yeah, so he's gonna, I would assume the Transcode Talker is to come next.
Yep. Just going to summon back either the Splash Mage or the Link Decoder.
Yep, then the Transcode to summon back the Splash Mage.
I believe the Splash Mage would have to be on that arrow next to the Transcode.
We'll see if it does matter or not. But either way, it does look like it's a very good position for Ural. It's just deciding to go straight into that Access Code Talker.
5/3 Access Code Talker that does get met with an effect Veiler.
Yep. Understandably, like...
Technically, he would have needed to activate the effect Veiler after the effect resolves.
Yeah.
Access Code Talker has an effect where your opponent can't respond to any of its effects.
So yeah, we're just going to see what's next. I really wish they were playing Heater in their decks. I think that'd be really funny to see.
It would be amazing.
Yeah,
it would be really amazing. Being able to special summon back your opponent's Gazelle, just turning any 2 fire monsters. Especially his graveyard effect, being able to search anything.
Yep. So we're just going to see them go to the battle phase, start declaring those attacks. I think we might see the Deco Talker Heat Soul get special summoned after this as well.
Using Splash Mage and Access Code Talker, given your more draws.
Yep. So there's 2 additional cards that he's just going to slowly just get away. And I don't think Steven's going to be able to keep up.
Both of these players play DD Crow, which coincidentally works really well in this matchup.
Yes. Doing a lot of things, like if Ural drew one, he would be able to then remove from play Steven's Bailings in the graveyard to make his rage just get so much more value.
Exactly. Same thing as we saw in turn 1, Steven could have used the DD Crow to banish the Spinny.
Deciding not to make the...
Yeah, Steven packs up. There's just too much advantage that Ural had. I guess he probably saw his next draw and thought it wasn't enough.
It was not good enough to get him the game. So we're going to see them head into game 2. What do you think is going to come in from these players? So I would assume at this point, Steven's going to be going first. From the looks of his side deck, the main card I put in would be those Book of Eclipses.
He also sides Phantasme, which is amazing against this deck. I remember the old days where the Link monsters were dominating decks that could link someone were dominating, and Phantasme was such an amazing card, letting you see more cards from your deck while also giving you an effect to protect your monsters from being targeted.
It's so oppressive when you're playing either Salamangreat or even Sky Striker, like we saw earlier. A Phantasme could just ruin the day, really.
True.
So yeah, from that side, from Ural's, maybe the Cosmic Cyclones. I could see that potentially coming in. However, maybe evenly matched. It depends. It depends if he thinks he's got enough cards that can trade with the Salamangreat Raw. What could potentially occur as well? Maybe the Cross-Out Designator.
I think the Cross-Out Designator is going to be a big dictator in this match. Ural did not draw any, or we didn't see any resolve, but it is so impactful. Being able to negate any card in Steven's deck, that's not why, I like to think that's not why Ural put in his deck. It was mainly just to maybe beat some hand traps, but in the mirror match, it would be amazing.
I think it would be so crazy just for him to maybe see something like evenly matched alongside that Cross-Out Designator, trading for the Raw. That just gets rid of the Raw. They can't use it. The match is going to get so much more value at that point. But either way, we're going to have to see what they decide. Maybe Steven takes it out of the bag. He decides he wants to go second. Who knows? But
a very interesting match. If Steven just had a little bit more, we would have seen him play. And I think he did have the potential to break what Ural had.
It's unfortunately, he just did not have a second Salamangreat monster in that game, I believe. I think if he had the second one, so he didn't have to start with that Gazelle, I think he may have been able to steal it.
Because he was so protected by the Bailings.
Yes, the Bailings was phenomenal. There's not much else to say. It would have been overwhelming if he had been able to just play a little bit more.
Now both players know it's a mirror. I think there might be more of an emphasis to try and get Salamangreat Raw instead.
Yes, I'd agree. From these mirror matches, you generally want Raw. It just overperforms, really. It does everything you want, and it doesn't get hindered by that Bailings. So we're going to see them going into game 2. Let's see if Steven decides to go first.
Should be a really interesting one. Ural with his Cross-Out Designator is going second.
I really hope we do get to see it.
I can imagine we'll see a similar combo.
He has drawn Nibiru the Primal Being. Some would say it's the bane of the Salamangreat deck.
It is probably the card that has stopped it dominating.
Agreed. So we're going to see how it gets handled this game. See what Steven's going to be able to do. He started with the Gazelle again, which does make me think his start's a little bit weaker.
Yes. It has a special summon effect, and ideally you would like to special summon it, unless he is open to.
So yeah, we're going to see the Spinny. The year is in fact 2023, so we're going to see how the rest of it goes.
But even so, this is enough to get going. You're able to get into Mirage Stalio, and Mirage Stalio is able to special summon any Salamangreat. Or is it level 4 lower Salamangreat monster from his deck?
I think it's just any Salamangreat. And I would need to check, but I think he can even summon something like a Beat Bison.
He might even summon a new Salamangreat monster, Salamangreat Fire.
Yeah, we'll see how he goes.
Oh, is that another Gazelle I've seen in his hand?
Second Gazelle, yeah.
Okay, so you can still opt to use the special summon effect later on in the turn.
Yeah, I think maybe just trying to respect some more hand traps here. We're going to see him do something more traditional, let's say.
Now we're linking in to the Bailings.
So we're going to see what's next. What do you think he's going to do here? Can he get up to that Salamangreat Raging Phoenix? With using the Gazelle in hand, yeah, he can actually.
Am I missing something? I feel like he's missing one monster to get into the Link 4.
Yeah, I think if he uses the Gazelle in his hand special summon at one point or another, then I think he'll be able to just about get there.
This Nibiru, however, is going to be massive. Yes. Currently, I don't think Steven has a way to stop it, and I don't think Steven has a way to continue playing a given.
No. We have to wait and see what happens next. But I think this Nibiru is going to be game ending almost.
So he's decided to go for Sunlight Wolf. His other option might have been Sunlight Wolf. He couldn't go into Splash Mage because the Mirage Stallion locks you into fire monster effects, I believe.
Do you think he might Nibiru here?
Interesting. He's thinking about it, and he's gone for it.
I would assume this is on the Jaguar effects to summon.
Yeah. So he does not get the ability to special summon to a zone?
Yes, it doesn't summon to a zone, but it resolves as much as possible, so it will be returning the monster to the extra deck.
Okay.
However, this Nibiru is still going to be very good here.
Yeah.
And
Yugioh being an expert Salamangreat player, knowing exactly when to Nibiru. Exactly. I guess the week opening with normal summon Gazelle gave him
a bit of an opening there.
Yeah.
So we're going to have to see how Steven adjusts to this. He still has 5 cards in hand. So
very true.
That is very true.
And as we saw in game 1, he does play talents. So being able to go talents and look at your opponent's hand might swing it back.
So he is going to do the Gazelle here. So let's see where he goes with this.
I think he is missing some monsters to be able to extend into anything useful. I don't know where he can go.
Let's see where he goes. Hopefully he has another way to extend further and potentially just claw his way there.
Set 1.
Set 1.
Does that maybe imply that is Salamangreat Rage?
Yeah, I'm unsure because I think if it was Rage, I would want to make a second Balinx just to guarantee that I've got a Salamangreat on board.
Okay.
However, you can also send from hand for Rage.
Very true.
So there is like a world where maybe you just should have held the Gazelle in hand. But we'll see. Maybe it's nothing. Maybe it's something else.
What is Yugioh going to start off with?
So it's back to his turn now, and thinking very hard about this first summon, just in case it's met by something you don't want to get hit by.
A Foxy. Is he using its effect?
No effect.
Because with Foxy, you can only use either one of the graveyard effect or its on-field effect to excavate 3 cards and add 1 Salamangreat card to your hand.
This is quite impressive here, the enemy controller taking control of it.
A card that would be amazing going second.
It would. That almost looks like the ultimate rare copy too. Almost. So we'll see what's next.
Will of Fire.
Will of the Salamangreat.
Will of the Salamangreat.
So we're going to see how he wishes to keep playing here. He could have potentially considered going to the battle phase and then bringing back that Foxy in main phase 2 with Will, or just by sending the Jaguar from the hand to the graveyard.
I can imagine he might go for an access code play or a heat soul play if he doesn't want to deal damage this turn.
Yeah, I think I'd be very wary of that, however, just in case he gets hit by another not enemy controller.
Nibiru.
Effect Veiler.
True.
Like game 1, or even maybe a Nibiru itself. Because Steven has only used 2 cards from his original 5 starting cards.
However, if Yugioh does go for the Slash Mage into Transcode, into Access Code, I think that will be enough to deal 8,000 points of damage, because he already has the Nibiru on the field.
That is true. So we'll see where he goes to from here.
He's deciding to link away the Balinx? Has he already activated the field spell? I think maybe he's forgotten to put it on the field. Yeah. Steven's just let him know that he can't do the from Balinx to Balinx. But he's decided to go for this Balinx because he needs a Salamangreat monster in his graveyard to special summon Jaguar.
Yes. Steven being a good laugh about it. He's still smiling the entire way. So yeah, we're going to see this go on. I believe he might just go for this Transcode Talker line.
Seems like the easiest way. Oh, he's just gone to battle phase, playing safer, making sure he doesn't get maybe blown out by Nibiru.
Yeah, it is summon 4, so we'll see how it deals.
maybe that gives us an indication that he doesn't have cross that designate in hand.
Maybe that is true. Or maybe he opened both his Nibiru's and he's only playing 2. We'll see how it goes. So here, what do you expect from him, really?
I can imagine that he has so many good cards he can draw.
So, yeah, that's actually true. The Heat Soul could be a very good line.
And since he didn't activate Fox's effect in the graveyard, he can still choose to activate its effect and continue playing. If he has another monster summon, he can then access the Link 4.
Yeah, so I'm curious. Maybe this is where the Link Decoder has a lot of value here.
Because it special itself back?
Yes, exactly. So you can special summon itself back. You can try and make that Heat Soul, because you do need lots of different attributes to correct. And then maybe even go up into that Raging Phoenix.
Okay. So I'd go for Sunlight Wolf. Maybe he has a Salamangreat Raw this time. A Salamangreat Raw. I believe you need to have a Salamangreat Link monster.
Yeah, by the looks of it, he's got a Raw and an Impermanence. Both seem like very, very good cards here.
But with Salamangreat having so many resources in the graveyard that he can use, I think he's in a good position. He has a Gazelle, another Gazelle in hand, a Spinny in graveyard. I think he could do a lot.
I think so as well. We just have to see how he continues to navigate. Because he didn't use that Bailings last turn, I know he considered it. He might still just be able to try and push through the couple of interrupts that Ural has.
Decided to add the Falco.
Yes.
If you were Steven right now, what would you be trying to do?
I think I need to see all of the resources he has. You basically you want to get to a critical mass of all of your Salamangreats in rotation.
Yes.
You've got like 6 different names. You just want to get all of them between the grave, the field, and then once you've got them all there, you're just able to just play through so many different types of interrupts.
Because he does have the Spinny and the Jack Jaguar. Maybe that's why he's opted to go for Falco, which is a different name.
Yes.
He's activating the powerful Gazelle now.
I think as long as Steven kind of stays within the realm of Salamangreat monsters, he'll be able to just keep himself alive from that Raw by using the Bailings in the graveyard, and then maybe just force through some kind of line. How many Heat Leo is he playing? If he's playing any at all?
He's playing no Heat Leos.
No Heat Leo, okay. So that's my main thought of ways to play through the back row, just by removing them from the field.
This is really interesting. With the Falco, he's used this graveyard effect to set the field spell that he discarded, somewhat replacing itself.
I quite like that. It feels good for card economy wise, and at some point you do want that field spell in circulation.
Yeah. Has he decided to send the Salamangreat Rage to his graveyard?
Yeah.
Ideally, I think he's going to try and add it back off Sunlight Wolf. So I can imagine him link summoning Sunlight Wolf twice.
I can see that as well.
Maybe we see a Mirage Stallion here?
I think he would. Again, he's kind of accepted that he's not going to get blown away by the opponent's Salamangreat Rage. However, it feels very strong here. It doesn't feel like there's any point of Ural using any of his interrupts here.
Exactly.
So it doesn't do anything. He's getting more and more cards. He's getting further and further into the place he wants. But at the end of the day, Steven's he's trying to bait him, right? He's trying to bait him into using his interrupts so that his key plays at the end of it go through. And that's what we just want to wait and see.
Yeah. No disruption feels impactful enough to stop Steven doing what he's doing, because every effect seems like he's gaining a small piece of advantage.
Exactly. And I think that's just going to steal the game in the end.
The one more Salamangreat name, Salamangreat Foxy, adding to his graveyard. Linking away the Mirage Stallion. Mirage Stallion does have a graveyard effect, being able to return a monster, is it opponent's monster on the field? And this is where he decided to use Salamangreat Raw, because he wouldn't be able to use it otherwise.
It feels like very, very weak use of Raw.
Yeah.
Just because you didn't really negate anything. You just stopped your monster from leaving the field.
I think the Silent Mining might have been a good opportunity.
I think so.
Because he didn't know he had Gazelle in hand.
Exactly. And you're trading 2 cards there. So it then does put Steven on almost better have it.
We still don't know what else Yugioh has in hand, I believe. I don't know how many cards, maybe 2?
Yeah, I don't know either. There could be the second copy of Nibiru, the Primal Being, within his deck list. So we'll see.
He does look fairly calm.
He does. So he has just linked for the second copy of Sunlight Wolf. I think his field spell needs to be faced up for that. But in the end...
Going straight to battle phase. Interesting.
That's quite unique there.
He does have 2 monsters with 1800 attack. So Yugioh will only be able to protect once.
And so will Stephen. I always remember this being part of like one of the factors in this matchup is just making sure you got enough Bailings to play through your opponent's cards and stop them playing through yours as well. So we're gonna see what's next.
Stephen plays Link Rebo instead of Link Decoder, so he's opted to go for a Trap Negate.
It's just opting for different matchups, I believe. So
he set the Salamangreat Rage that he added from his graveyard.
I think this Rage could honestly end the game. I think there's no copy of Balinks in the graveyard now, which I think was the key reason he decided to attack his Jaguar into the Sunlight Wolf.
Yeah.
Because without that there, he's able to get rid of the Rage, also the Will, he's able to get rid of any monster he summons as well. And I think that's just...
This is quite an interactive match we're seeing. Yugioh does have still an advantage in the graveyard. And Stephen's board isn't as oppressive, so you should be able to play. Will already on the field.
So yeah, we're going to see what he decides to do here.
Using Salamangreat's Foxy's effect in the graveyard, deciding to pop the field spell.
What I'd like to see him do is use Falco to return the Foxy to the hand.
Yep.
Then make the Bailings, and then put the Bailings in the graveyard by one means or another.
Yeah.
Just to try and protect himself there.
I think Stephen has decided to flip the Salamangreat Rage early, knowing that Yugioh probably will go into another Bailings to protect himself from it.
Yep, and I think that's good value there.
Yep.
I'm happy with that.
Maybe Yugioh could have used his Will of the Salamangreat instead of the Foxy.
Yes, yeah.
Because now he hasn't got a chance to. He didn't get a chance to use it.
I think I would have definitely wanted to start with it.
And I guess he doesn't have much more.
That's unfortunate for him.
For him to summon Jaguar, he needs a Link Arrow to summon to.
He does. So, yeah, I think definitely starting with that Will would have been a very strong start to his turn.
It's passed.
Yep, it's passing straight.
And Stephen decided to prioritize getting as many Salamangreat names in his graveyard to keep on playing, and he is going to just keep on playing. Adding back the Rage, because of Sunlight Wolf was summoned using Sunlight Wolf. As you said, bouncing back the Foxy to summon Falco.
Oh, I love Salamangreat. I love it so much. So we're going to see... He's just gathering so many more pieces of resource here, and...
This mirror match does bring back good memories.
It really does. And we're going to see Stephen decide what to do. I think if I was Stephen, I'd be wary of the back row, just for making a transcode talker into access code line.
Yeah.
However, he does have 3 monsters in his main monster zones. He could just use them all to try and work in that transcode.
Yes, I think he can do this under 5 summons. So he's only summoned... Oh, he decided to summon more.
Yeah. I think, it would have been around 5 summons, I think.
Stephen is trying to end this game right now, though. When he did summon this update, Jamie, it's usually a sign.
Yeah, I think I would have liked the Gazelle to be held here. However, may just not get punished, so it might not matter. But I think as long as he keeps the transcode and the access code, all of it co-linked, I think he should be able to steal this game away.
Yeah. And as you mentioned, it being co-linked, he wouldn't be able to target the transcode or the access code.
Yep.
And if Yugioh does have an imperm, it won't work.
Yep. So...
He used Sunlight Wolf's effect to add back from the graveyard.
Yes,
Was it a Gazelle?
Yes, yeah. then I think you should just aim to hit these two up into the access code talker.
Yep.
And just clean up the game here on the spot. I think it's the best way.
The only thing that can stop him right now, I would say, is in the Nibiru.
Yes, I agree with that.
I think we could have seen it last turn. Is this his is this his third turn of playing,
yes,
Stephen?
I think so. Third turn of the match. Or third turn of the game, sorry.
Going for the co-linked access code talker.
Yep.
Yep, and Euro packs it up, just not having the Nibiru.
Was enough there.
We did not see the cross-out designator as well.
However, there's a game 3.
There is a game 3.
So I think we're all going first. We'll see what he does. I think it's very similar to how this entire match has been. They've both done very similar things on the first turn. They just want to set up Raging Phoenix, as many traps as they can, and just as many of the Salamangreat names within the graveyard, on the field, in the hands, just so you have the follow-up for the following turn to just steal the game and get it finished up.
With such an interactive match, it might be worth paying attention to the time. There's only 9 minutes left.
There is. Brings back memories. The Salamangreat Paro to game 2000. Neither of these players are playing it. But yeah, I remember I side decked it once. It was not worth it. But yeah, normally it's quite a fast-paced deck. However, very interactive games we've had as well.
Very interactive
so
games.
It's quite nice to see.
Both players having multiple turns.
Yeah, it's quite nice to see. It doesn't happen very often, but maybe it's just the means of the matchup. So yeah, just getting ready for that third and final game.
They are doing so well still in the tournament. Stephen only one loss, Euro only one draw.
Yep, with 4 further rounds after this.
The strategy has proven to be effective, beating the other decks in the tournament.
I'd say it's quite a simple strategy. Do you want to make your Link monster? Do you want to set a trap? That's all you're really looking for.
I think it does enough versus a lot of decks, especially if you're not familiar with the Salamangreat deck. If you're maybe more newer duelist and went around when this deck was dominating, you might forget some things.
Yeah, especially because it's low cost as well. I know you and myself, we always talk about the cost of cards. I'm like, how many cards does it cost for you to make your field?
Yes.
How many cards does it cost you to try and break the field? You just advance your game state.
Yeah.
And I think here, just a Gazelle did almost everything.
For Stephen, exactly. He was just playing only with a Gazelle.
And I think that's the nature of it. You can have 4 other cards in hand, a Gazelle, and you can just get on with it.
And now we're into game 3. We might see an enemy controller, which I think would be amazing in this matchup.
I think that was phenomenal, yeah. I think if Stephen had an enemy controller this game, that would be on his way to get there.
I think I saw 2 Effect Veilers.
I think I saw a Phantasme alongside those as well. So
should be interesting. Stephen be able to play quite a bit on Euro's turn.
Yeah. So
Salamangreat
of Fire.
One of the newer cards we hadn't seen in any of the 2 games, and I would say one of the best cards in the deck, adding a lot of consistency. So it adds 1 Salamangreat monster from your deck to hand. However, you can't special summon, and you can only special summon 5 monsters, I believe.
I'm actually just checking now. Do you think Stephen's even playing Salamangreat of Fire?
True. Maybe he prefers not to be locked into fires.
Monsters, yeah. So here we see the Veiler hitting down on the
Gazelle.
The Gazelle.
Because if this is Euro's only play, he can stop him making Sunlight Wolf and adding back something from the graveyard to his hand, which was the old school way of playing Salamangreat. But Euro does have another extender with Spinny, but it might be hit down with a second Effect Veiler.
So from the looks of it, I think Stephen has an Ash Blossom, a Phantasme, and I think I saw the Gazelle, which for me, that's my hand. That's what I want.
That is probably one of the best hands he could have asked for going second. I expect this Phantasme to maybe be summoned after the Sunlight Wolf is... Oh, he's gone for a Slash Mage. Since the Mirage Stallio's effect was negated, he can activate monsters other than fire.
Well, no, he's used fire as well, so he cannot.
He cannot?
Unless he did not use fire's effects, he just normal summoned it.
True.
However, yeah, so the Phantasme is coming down here.
Maybe Yugioh decided to Ash the Phantasme.
Yep. Oh, okay.
I'm not surprised.
Oh, okay, I think they're just catching it now.
Yes, that is one of the restrictions of fire. Exactly why Stephen decided to not play this card in this deck.
So yeah, So I think he's going to have to put the Ash Blossom and Joy Springs back in Ural's hands here.
I think regardless of what Yugioh summoned, Stephen would still have tried to special summon Phantasme,
Yes, 100%.
and Yugioh would still have tried to Ash Blossom it.
Yeah, because I think resolving that Phantasme resolving, you're almost picking your hand at that point.
Yes.
That's just unfair advantage, really. Like, however, it looks like he's just setting one card and passing now.
Which is understandable. There's not much more he can do. Making a Sunlight Wolf here, if you can't special summon, it doesn't do much.
Yeah.
All it does, maybe he's able to add back the circle from his graveyard to hand.
I think it's a little bit unfortunate, just due to that error. We don't get to see how it perfectly would have played out. However, yeah, we're gonna see the Gazelle trigger hit. I'm not the happiest with this Gazelle. I think if I was Stephen, I just want to put that Sanctuary on the field as quickly as possible.
Really?
I think so. Just in case, you just want to respect the rage
I understand.
as much as I can. And at the worst point, if he does use rage on it, I think that's fine, because you then have the Gazelle to extend.
Yeah. Because I can imagine getting rage right here isn't ideal, but since there's only a Balinx, it's only getting rid of one monster.
Agreed, I agree with that. So yeah, we're going to see the Sunlight Wolf come down. I'll just assume the Jaguar. Going to just help get those advantages back.
Yeah.
It's quite impressive. We haven't seen that DD Crow from either of these duelists so far.
Yes. We haven't seen a DD Crow. We haven't seen the cross-out designator from Yugioh's deck, and we did see the Econ Hour from Steven's deck.
Yeah, I really like the Econ. I think that's like enemy control is such a fantastic card in this Salamangreat deck. Especially it just helps pick apart the board.
I think Steven does need to get rid of this Mirage Stalio though. Yes. And yes, he is trying to get rid of it, summoning Transcode Talker.
I think that's going to be hits with an infinite impermanence.
But at least he can still attack over the Mirage Stalio.
I agree with that.
But there is a Salamangreat Spinny in his graveyard.
Yes, so there is still the cards to the follow-up available to him. It just depends what Steven's got left. Maybe he has a will or something, or any ways to add.
He did not use the Ash Blossom, correct? That we saw?
He did. Steven did.
Steven didn't.
No, he has not. However, Ural has used his.
Yes.
So, the Phantasme could be very, very strong here. Let's see if he tries to give it any type of respect.
Ideally, he would need another level 3 to continue on playing. The monster that you do get add back of Sunlight Wolf, you can't normal summon it that turn or special summon it that turn, or is it you can't use his effects?
He has another copy of Ash Blossom. You cannot summon it.
Okay.
However, if it goes back to the extra deck, you can summon it. Nice fact.
Yeah. Maybe Yugioh will decide to make his own transcode as well.
Yeah. The Link Decoder. I think. Does he still have that? Was it Ash Blossom in his hand? Unfortunately.
Transcode, yes. Link Decoder summoning itself back because he summoned a Code Talker monster, and now Transcode, especially summoning back the Smash Mage.
I think I would make the Decode Talker Heat Soul here. Just maybe get an additional card.
Decode Talker unable to be targeted, and while also gaining 500 attack points from itself and through Transcode's effect.
Yep. I did completely forget about the time, so that's looking a little bit.
We are getting close.
Now. Yeah.
Will Yugioh opt to not use the Heat Soul effect?
I can understand it. However, I think if you were going down that route, I would consider just making the access code here and just doing more damage, right?
That is very true.
I guess he now has to remove 2 monsters and they can't be targeted, so that's quite hard for Salamangreat deck to achieve.
Did he do this on the 5 summons? No, he didn't. No, he did not. Ash met with an Ash Blossom, but I don't think the Silent Mining would have been doing much.
No.
Oh, he is indeed paying the 4,000. There is a lot of good draws he can get.
And he's just very high on the life points as well. I reckon that's an infinite impermanence draw.
Yeah. Stephen will need to do a lot in these last 40 seconds. If only he can quickly make an access code token, but currently he has nothing on the field. With only a Jack Jaggery in a graveyard.
Yeah, you can see him playing as fast as he can. We'll see what he's able to manage.
Balinks. Gazelle?
He's
If
got
only he
50,
had...
If he had more time.
Oh, now we see
there's
the
a
cross-out
cross-out.
designator. The card we've been talking about all match.
That's impressive. That's impressive.
Knowing how impactful it can be.
Yep. I think he's unfortunately just not going to have enough time to get there.
If you can make a update jammer.
Yeah, I think he needs to make an update jammer. He needs to, yeah, and it's just going to be
Looks like time's been called.
Yeah, that's unfortunate.
Very unfortunate for the game to end in time.
Think,
but both duelists played fantastically.
They did. I think if the game had a little bit longer, I think Stephen would have just about been able to get away with it.
I think so too.
But here we have Aral winning.
Salamangreat. Still undefeated.
Still undefeated.
And Yugioh still has the chance to win the old tournament.
He does. 4 more rounds. Who knew Salamangreat would win that match? Not me.